Hey guys, it's Prompt Beef bringing you a Destiny 2 guide for beginners and returning players. With the incoming wave of new and returning Guardians, I'm sure there will be a lot of confused players out there. No need to fret though, this guide will set you on the right track. In this video I will cover everything from basic concepts like Guardian classes, more advanced topics like perks and mods, and everything in between. So any returning players might want to skip to part 2, or just watch the whole video, you might learn something new. Either way, I've added timestamps in the description to help you find relevant information easier. So let's get started. Your first hurdle as a beginner will be to pick a class. There are 3 classes: Titan, Warlock, and Hunter. All classes are good and they all have their strengths and weaknesses. In my opinion, Titans and Warlocks are more forgiving and beginner friendly. The Titan's shield and the Warlock's healing rifts can provide you with much needed protection when things get a little hairy. Don't get me wrong, Hunters are good too, but require a bit more skill to use. However, when mastered, Hunters are a great class to use, especially in PvP. Eventually, you will want to have a character of each class, as they all provide different playstyles and are fun to use. Next, you will have to decide on a subclass. There are 3 subclasses: Arc, Solar, and Void. Basically, Arc is electricity, Solar is fire, and Void is dark energy. Each subclass has 3 paths, aka skill trees, each one providing different abilities. As you progress in the game, you will be able to unlock all subclasses and skill trees. Moving on to weapons, the game drops 3 types of ammo: primary ammo, which is a white block and drops frequently, special ammo, which is a green block and drops occasionally, and heavy ammo, which is a purple block and is rare. Additionally, you are provided 3 weapon slots: a kinetic, an energy, and a heavy slot. Kinetic weapons are best used for unshielded enemies. Energy weapons can shoot arc, solar, or void energy. These weapons are best for taking out enemy shields. Heavy weapons are the strongest and should be used for difficult enemies or crowd control. Heavy weapons also have different elements and can be used to take out enemy shields. Taking out an enemy shield with a matching element will do bonus damage and cause a massive explosion that harms nearby enemies. Weapons in the kinetic and energy slots can use either primary or special ammo. Weapons in the heavy slot can only use heavy ammo. It's generally a good idea to bring a loadout with a variety of elements to deal with different kinds of shielded enemies. An example of a diverse loadout would be a Solar class Guardian with an arc energy weapon and a void heavy. But remember, different situations call for different loadouts. Defeating enemies or completing activities will reward you with engrams. Engrams contain gear and come in different colors. The color of the engram defines the engram's rarity. Green engrams are common, blue engrams are uncommon, purple engrams are legendary, and yellow engrams are exotic. Whether you are a new or returning player, your focus should be on completing the main storylines. In doing so, you will unlock very powerful exotic weapons and armor, as well as unlock new areas of the game and gain access to vendors that will provide you with quests and activities. Notable locations include the Tangled Shore, the Dreaming City, Black Armory Forges, and the Menagerie, to name a few. Your next focus should be to reach max level. You gain levels by earning XP. Killing enemies provides XP, but killing random enemies is not an ideal method. Instead, you can gain large quantities of XP by completing activities like the main storyline, adventures, heroic public events, strikes, Crucible, and Gambit. With Crucible being the fastest way to farm XP, providing you perform well, and heroic public events coming in at second. Side note, if you plan on farming certain activities, make sure to grab bounties from their respective vendor. Go to Zavala for strikes, Shaxx for Crucible, and the Drifter for Gambit, just to name a few. Currently, the max level is 50. At level 50, filling your XP bar will reward you with Bright Engrams. Bright Engrams provide cosmetic rewards such as shaders, emotes, ships, and sparrows. One of the more important aspects of the game is reaching max power, not to be confused with max level. Your power dictates your outgoing and incoming damage. The higher your power, the harder you hit and the less damage you take. Max power is currently at 750. Your power is directly related to the power level of your weapons and armor. If you equipped higher power gear, your power level will rise. In order to achieve 750 power, all your equipped gear must be 750. You can also infuse weapons or armor into one another to make them stronger. Infusing is expensive, so I recommend waiting until you reach max power and only infuse top tier gear. I also recommend completing the Power Surge quest, Chalice of Opulence. This quest will provide you with enough high power gear to shoot your character straight to 690 power. At 690 power, you will be very close to the 750 hard cap, but well over the 500 soft cap, meaning that random drops in the game will no longer provide higher power weapons or armor. Exceptions to this include prime or exotic engrams, which are rare but will drop powerful gear. There are a few ways to raise your power level when you are over the soft cap. The easiest way is by completing daily and weekly challenges. The weekly challenges reset every Tuesday at 12 PM Central Time, shout out to my Midwest Guardians, and the dailies are reset every 24 hours. Some vendors have weekly bounties that can provide you with powerful gear as well. You can also get your hands on some powerful gear by completing difficult activities such as Year 2 raids, the Menagerie, Pinnacle questlines, and exotic questlines. Also, joining a clan can provide you with additional weekly powerful gear. A quick disclaimer, reaching max power will take a couple of weeks, so be patient, you'll get there eventually. So arguably the trickiest aspect of the game to wrap your head around are perks and mods. A perk is a stat booster on your piece of gear. Perks are random and cannot be chosen. Every weapon and armor piece will drop with different perks. Additionally, every piece of gear can only drop with certain perks. There are dozens of perks in Destiny, but different pieces of gear will have different perks available to them. Example, one hand cannon will have different perks available to it than another hand cannon. A good resource to use is the website light.gg. You can use their search function to look up gear and see a list of available perks to any weapon or armor. You can view stats and reviews as well. There are two types of rolls. A curated roll is a drop with a predetermined set of perks. A random roll is a drop whose perks are randomized within the allotted pool of perks. This is where farming and god rolls come into play. Players often farm an activity in hopes that a weapon with a good roll will drop for them. Most people want two versions of a weapon, a PvE version as well as a PvP version. A roll that is good for PvP may be trash in PvE and vice versa. You want different perks for different activities. Some armor can drop with enhanced perks. Enhanced perks provide an even greater boost for a particular stat. Only some sets of armor can drop with enhanced perks. That list includes Exotics, Reverie Dawn from the Dreaming City, Of the Great Hunt from the Last Wish raid, Bladesmith, Gunsmith, Bulletsmith from the Scourge of the Past, Iron Trudge from Iron Banner, Notorious Armor from Tier 3 Reckoning, Shadow Armor from the Crown of Sorrows raid, and Opulent Duelist from the Menagerie. Another thing to keep in mind are Masterworks. Like perks, Masterworks will boost a certain stat on your gear. Unlike perks though, Masterworks can be upgraded until level 10. Upon reaching level 10, your piece of gear will be considered fully Masterwork. If you unlock the third rune slot on your chalice from the Chalice of Opulence quest, you will be able to choose the Masterwork you want, for a limited selection of weapons. Other than that, Masterworks are random and cannot be chosen. However, you can choose your mods. Mods are add-ons that provide your gear an additional boost. Mods can be earned by doing bounties or purchased from Banshee. They can also be purchased from Ada1. You can also get mods by dismantling pieces of gear with mods already on them. This feature is helpful when you get a weapon with a better roll and need your mod back. A chalice with a third power and efficiency upgrade will provide Season of Opulence mods when you complete the Menagerie each week. On the screen is a list of all armor mods in the game. I'll leave the chart up for about 5 seconds. Then I'll show weapon mods for about 5 more seconds. Additionally, I posted a link in the description to the written version of this guide. Feel free to check it out. Side note, Bungie has announced that a change to the armor system is coming with the release of Shadowkeep. So, this information on mods might be a little outdated come the release of that DLC. All the other information should be accurate as the change is only coming to armor. Just a little warning for all the Guardians watching this after September 2019. Now on to our next and final topic. Planning your builds and your grind. First, get to know the meta. You can do this by inspecting other Guardians loadouts using websites like light.gg, YouTube videos, or asking the community. The meta includes popular weapons, exotic armor, subclasses, perks, etc. Knowing the meta will provide you with an overall better experience in PvE and PvP. They are popular for a reason. They might have the highest damage output to melt bosses, or the quickest time to kill guardians in the Crucible. Not using the best guns, especially in PvP, can put you at a disadvantage. An example of an ultra meta beefy PvP build would be a bottom tree striker titan running one-eyed mask, super mods on all your armor, and you're running the last word, an Erentil, and a rocket launcher. With that being said, the meta does shift every couple months, usually due to buffs, nerfs, or new content. Builds can be general. Most people have a PvP build and a PvE build. Builds can also be more specific and fun. You can create a build around a class ability, a melee, or grenade. You can create a raid build or a build around an exotic. There are so many possibilities. Planning your build saves you time and makes other aspects of the game easier. It helps you decide what gear and rolls you need to grind for, and it makes dismantling a breeze. If you get a new weapon with a roll you don't want or like, no problem, dismantle it. This keeps your character menu and vault clean and organized. And that's all, Guardians. I hope this information was useful and that you learned something new. If so, hit that thumbs up. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'll try my best to answer them all. I plan on making a lot more Destiny 2 videos, so if you want to join me on my Destiny and YouTube journey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.